Okay, at this point, we're going to move into the public questions, so stand by while I draw one. Public question number one will be answered by Laura Garay, who has 3 minutes, and rebutted by Dan Jerram, who has 2. The question is, how do we balance downtown development with the needs of the majority of residents who live in the countryside? How do you see the needs of the downtown, sell the needs of the downtown to the country folks?
May I ask you to repeat that, please?
Sure. I'm sorry, I've had a little trouble breathing. How do we balance downtown development with the needs of the majority of residents who live in the countryside? How do you sell the needs of the downtown to the country folks?
Well, I think one of the things that we really need to improve on in this town is how we communicate with our residents and get out and listen to them and hear their voice. And I think that that's something that has been lacking. We haven't done a great job of doing that. And I think also to sort of survey those folks that live in the countryside, if I'm understanding this question correctly, to what are they looking for? What are businesses that they're looking for, what their needs are, and sort of try to develop a plan around that. I mean, one of the things in developing a village concept is identifying what's needed in town. One of the things we need is a pharmacy in town. Are we able to attract a smaller, company, pharmaceutical company, to come in and provide that need? We have to, but the only way we're going to find this out is bringing everybody to the table. I don't have the answers. Eric doesn't have the answers. And we're not looking for those answers necessarily from ourselves. We're looking from all of you. I'm very happy with the turnout tonight. And I wish and hope that you folks will come out as we move forward for other town meetings, because that's the way we're going to move this town forward. If we hear from you and you want to be an active participant in local government and in the decision-making process. Thank you.
How do you sell the need for infrastructure costs in the village to the people that don't live in the village? If you take away the capital funding costs that we've spent over the past 10 years or 15 years, if you take away all the trucks and the vehicles and the things that maintain your town, and you look how we spent our money, I can explain it to you in pretty good detail. We bought an awful lot of land, and we supported the parks in the countryside of town. We spent a lot of money to maintain Brown's Corner. We spent a lot of money, capital, to take care of Brody Park. Those are beautiful, cherished assets that we all love, and we want to see them maintained. We bought the Phillips Farm rights. We bought the Gula property up on Cotton Hill. We bought Jones Mountain, which is kind of heading up that way. So we have invested heavily in the country part of town, and now it's time to take the message to say, you know what? The village needs you, okay? The downtown needs you. The lowest property values in town needs you. Sometimes you have to look at your investments as how they can return to you some money for what you invest, okay? Will the infrastructure improvements that we put into the village center return an investment, maybe in an increased property value, so that maybe those homes are worth more and then ultimately end up paying back more taxes? If you're putting all your taxes, capital dollars into areas of town that are already at the highest levels, the chances for increases in levels, you're really just holding your own. You're not going to see the benefits in those areas. Those are beautiful assets that need to be maintained, but maybe you need to change the proportion of where it goes. And that's what we're seeing right now, is that there's some underlying assets on this side of town that need to be taken care of, okay? And there's opportunity there. Now, one of the things I worked on this summer was a land donation by the Hope family in Pine Meadow. Free to you and I. We paid $15,000, but it's an area for a little trail in Pine Meadow, in between the Wicked Streets. It's something that we can consider this summer for a very little investment. These trails are all part of the thing that make people want to live in that area. We have, by the way, as Laura mentioned, we have researched the Rails to Trails concept. It came in at $4 to $5 million, and with the governor's threats, there was no way it could be considered this year.